It's a nice smile. Hello, everyone.
Hello. And Merry Langmas. Woo!
I do need to open the mouse document, though.
Okay, you go ahead and do that. So, Aaron and Jesse got me this root beer advent calendar, which since we've been off a week, I'm behind by like 5 root beers.
Yes, and you are. So you need to like double time it for a few days.
December 10th. And we're going to give it a shot. Let's see what we got. Oh, I think this is a cream soda.
Yeah, so it's root beer inspired advent calendar because most of them, of course, have been root beer, but some of them.
Oh my goodness. What did you get me?
You're welcome.
This is Canadian maple syrup soda.
I mean, it's Canadian, eh?
How do I drink this? Oh my goodness.
Very carefully.
Okay, alright.
Although, is it even a twist top?
I don't know. How do you know if something's a twist off or not? Like, can you look at this and tell me, does this look like it'll tear up my shirt if I try to twist it off? Or is it the type of thing where everything's a twist off if you try hard enough?
I'm like shying away, like, please don't hurt yourself. But I feel...
It doesn't say anything on the top.
It doesn't look twisty. Do you want me to take it downstairs and do the thing?
No, we'll bring on that.
Oh, hey, wow. Oh, and Miles says, just bang it on the door hinge. And Jonathan usually finds out by trying. Okay, so we'll wait for him to be back. Zakari, it's good to have you back. I'm glad you're able to make it today. And hello to everybody. I so many names here, can't even read all of them. Everything's coming off real fast. But hopefully you guys had a good 2 weeks. We are very happy to be back live. And so we are also excited to announce the poll, which was about evidentiality. So we're going to be moving forward with some of these really awesome verbs in the language, which I almost forgot was called wokutiju. Wokutiju.
That's it, wokutiju.
I had to think about it. Okay, so I'm going to get this for David. And it does feel like it's been a lot longer than 2 weeks. And now...
Name is growing on me. Ooh.
And hey, babe. Now that you are back, we have a shout out to do because in 5 days, 5,
yeah,
count on, it's Miles's birthday. Happy birthday, Miles!
That is a good day, whatever day is 5 days from now. What day is it?
16.
21.
There we go.
Happy 21st, Miles! Woo! Cream soda's on bib. Okay.
It was not twist off.
Okay. All right, here we go. Premium crafted Canadian maple syrup soda.
Oh, it smells good. It smells good.
Cheers.
Have fun.
Wow.
I gotta watch that on playback on the YouTube thing. That's amazing.
I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, I guess that kind of tastes like that. This exactly tastes like that.
Oh, and that's what the lid smells, just like maple syrup.
Go ahead.
Okay. By the way, unfortunately, I think the little yellow LangTime thing is blocking your face now.
Oh, really?
But it was fun to watch you as you tried it.
Let's see here.
Oh my God, this is, I can't even tell you how much this smells like
fix that.
a bottle of maple syrup.
Hey. Make a little bit. There. And this needs to go up a little bit. Let's have it go up like that.
They did not lie on the advertising.
Make that go up like that. I don't know. Is that better?
Oh, I'll see. There we go. I mean, I feel like once you move back, your chin will be out of that range.
Sure. All right. Yeah.
Ooh, there we go. That's better. You can see your whole face now. Woo!
This is pretty good. It reminds me of actually one of my favorite candies of all time, which is maple syrup candy. The maple syrup chocolate candies. Just, absolute delicious.
Now it's in soda form.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty darn good. All right, ready?
We had a poll over the last 2 weeks about evidential markers in this mouse language. And so really what we were doing was that it was going to be, no matter what, it was going to be like at least a two-way distinction, where one would be like neutral, right? Like one is just going to be like everything else versus something.
Okay, well, I guess there's two things. There's how many distinctions there were going to be and how those distinctions are going to be reified.
Right, and so we were dealing with, our options were really direct experience, hearsay, and then the committee, and then we kind of mixed and matched all of those around.
There may have been one more. Here,
No, because then there was and everything else, and 4 was the biggest we went.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay.
And so it was really like our two-way options were like direct experience, everything else. Hearsay, everything else. And then by the 3-way, it's like, direct experience, hearsay, everything else. Hearsay, committee, everything else, direct experience, committee, everything, and so on. Yeah. So, and then all the way up to a 4-way distinction where all of those were options. And so that's what we had as options. 2 of them had 0 votes. Okay. And that was where we only marked direct experience as a 2-way distinction.
Okay, that's the smallest one, right?
Yeah, and then also a 3-way distinction where direct experience and hearsay are marked. Those 2 were not well loved.
Huh, okay, all right.
They were not loved at all.
No votes.
At all.
No votes. All right. That second one was pretty realistic, though, by the way. Marking direct experience specifically, hearsay specifically, and then having a third category, meaning something that's neither of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a side note, Miles made this comment, maple syrup, oak resin, and pine tar, and all I can think is Stardew Valley. Because those are the 3 things you get from the trees.
Oh.
To craft and do things. And so that just makes me happy. Oh, it says Amsterdam. I don't know. Well, let me see how much I'm in view. Oh, you can only see like the am of the Sturdam. Oh, Miles, that's what you were going for. That's amazing. Okay. So anyway, those are out. Next up was the other 2-way marker where it was hearsay and everything else.
Okay.
So that's out too.
All right.
So those are no-goes. Just above those were the 4-way, which we were actually really shocked because normally our patrons are like,
load it up.
Let's do it. But they didn't want the 4-way option, and so that's out. Also, just right around that same number of votes was the 3-way marking option with hearsay, committee verified, and everything else.
Yes. Okay. But then let's talk about this option. So we decided for the mice, marking something as direct experience, marking something as hearsay, and then having kind of an everything else option. Those are all natural. We decided to add one that was verified by the relevant subcommittee for whatever it was.
Which I'm going to say, it was actually a suggestion from the live chat in our last stream. Somebody had mentioned that, and we were like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I forget who it was, and I'm sorry that I forget. But whoever it was, we were both like, oh my gosh, like that is an awesome idea. So much so we put it in, and now it's going to be part of it because
patrons loved it.
The patrons loved it. Most votes by far, like overwhelming majority, went to a 3-way system where it would be a marker to indicate direct experience, a marker to indicate that it's been like committee verified, which is like the gold standard of like, I know this to be true. And then everything else.
Okay, so essentially that is like 3 degrees of seriousness or definiteness or assuredness. What's the word? Certainty? 3 degrees of certainty, right? There's no marking. It was just like, just here's the information, make of it what you will.
I also like though that we went through a little thesaurus there. Assuredness, definiteness, certainty.
The next most certain has to be direct experience, I think. It's like, I saw it myself, you should be able to trust it.
Right.
But certainly, if it comes with the stamp of the relevant subcommittee, that has to be like, you cannot question this.
I mean,
it's beyond reproach.
And honestly, if it comes with the stamp of the committee and you decide not to trust it, I feel like that says something about your own character as a mouse.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, maybe you should be kicked out of the mouse community. I don't know. Okay, so that's what we're doing.
Enmouserated.
Enmouserated, yes, yes. This is going to be marked somewhere on the verb.
Yeah, this is going to be marked somewhere, and that somewhere is going to be at the end. So we've got 2 things that we're going to mark. One is unmarked. Yeah.
Yeah, because everything else is unmarked, right?
Yeah.
So in general, it's just like unmarked unless you have direct experience or unless you know that it's been committee verified.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's my next question. So one of the reasons, one of the ways distinctions are made that we didn't do is whether you heard something versus whether you saw something. We were never going to have that distinction. Do we have a verb yet for see or hear?
That is a great question, and I'm going to committee verify that.
All right.
I don't think we do. No.
Okay, so
Yeah, because we only have like certain action kind of verbs.
Yeah, I was thinking that one thing we could do with this language is just have a verb that means perceive. And then if you need to specify, you can incorporate a noun.
Yeah, so like your ear perceives it or your eye perceives it.
Yeah, but then that incorporated noun would be an instrument as opposed to a direct object. Is that okay? Can't remember. That's one. What were our incorporated nouns? I think our incorporated nouns were all objects. Is that true?
It was all objects, but that brings up an interesting question. Because did we decide what would happen if the verb doesn't take a direct object?
Oh, if it was intransitive?
Um,
What's this instrumental?
That's what I'm looking. The mouse slides with the bind. There's a special marker that you add to the object if it's instrumental.
Got it.
The applicative.
Yes. Right, okay.
And no,
let's do it.
magpie, I don't think we have a general word for to sense or anything like that.
No, but
In fact, I think the only verbs we have are on the list that we have, because so far we had just a handful really of verbs. We did get bury, but yeah, no, I don't think we have anything meaning to sense. But go on, sorry.
Well then, I think then what we are going to be doing is creating precisely that type of verb, one that Magpie suggests. So a word that means to sense or to perceive, but that is otherwise not specified for how you sensed or perceived it. It could be hearing, tasting, smelling, whatever. It's not really important. It can be, we already have morphology that allows us to further specify if necessary. And it would be the type of thing where I would say it's somewhere in between the level of emphasis you get with I saw it and I saw it with my own eyes. Somewhere in between that would be incorporating I to this verb perceive. Anyway, the whole reason that we went down this little rabbit hole is because I think we're going to use that verb for perceive for our direct experience marker. So it's going to get a phrase at the end. It will be something like I perceived it. It's going to get shortened up, and it's going to become a suffix. And then we'll have to decide on some other suffix for the committee. So first thing we need to do is create this verb.
Yes, and Magpie, I think what you may be remembering is that we did have quite a bit of discussion for the negation markers about whether, because we have like whiskers and being able to perceive like movement and so on. So like we had to decide how these negation markers would work, and so we talked quite a bit about how they would navigate their environment. And so I think that may be what you're remembering, because I don't otherwise see any notes for verbs that are general.
I freaking love this, by the way. It's amazing.
That makes me really happy.
Yeah.
And it makes Erin happy too.
Yeah.
She doesn't know it yet that you love it, but she will. You know what? I'm gonna text her.
Yeah, it's so much better than that chocolate one. Ugh. For those of you in the New England area, I know that you're a fan of chocolate soda. No. No.
It should not happen.
That's vile. Too much. Okay, so it should start with a consonant. Yeah.
You just keep going. I'm letting.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, because we want something that's going to be able to be squished down to, when it's used as a phrase, when it's squished down to a suffix. We also want it to be somewhat short. We also want it to be somewhat short so that it's not too bad to prefix, I or ear or whatever. And so, do is shorter than tau. On the other hand, it's basically 6 of one, half dozen of another, isn't it? Because if it starts with a vowel, it's still going to be CV. It's just that the C is going to be W. The second C is going to be W. So I guess it could be either.
And we do have a word for I. We don't have one for ear, I don't think.
What is the word for I?
Fi.
F-I?
High tone.
The same as our... Huh. Interesting.
Let me double check. Yeah, it comes from FIC is the protoform, and then FI high tone. So we have I and whisker are...
Yeah, because of course perceived by whisker would be another thing. It would probably be how you say you felt something.
Yeah, we don't have ear yet.
Whisker's pretty big. Yansu.
Okay. So, sorry, that was all just to say we have that.
See, I would also live off pure sugar. This is what you want, Magpie. Chocolate soda. No. It triggers something. Very negative.
And like, listen, there are things like Yoo-hoo that exist in the world that are chocolate drinks. That I can understand why people like them. They're a little bit strange, I think, when you first start drinking them, but also I feel like you just keep drinking it because there's something about it that just makes you want to keep going. And so like, I can understand all of that. That chocolate soda, well, our patrons could see on Discord a video that David posted of me trying it. It should not exist. And it wasn't just a chocolate soda. I believe it was a fudge brownie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should not exist. Anyway, not about sugar, because yeah, that is pure sugar. But yeah, that was gross.
Miles, I mean, chocolate syrup is a liquid you could drink. Why sodify it?
That's very true. That's very true.
Oh my. Okay, so I want this to be a very short word And so I almost want to say it should be CV. That's short.
Okay.
Almost. Maybe not.
I'm totally fine with this. Are you not fine with it?
I don't know. Well, just do we have a list of all the CV roots that we've done as protoforms?
A list of them? No, but could we look them all up? Yes. Like, our protoforms started kind of getting all over the place in this document.
Yes, it
and
did. Okay.
So,
how about this? Like, people just throw out suggestions for this verb that's going to mean to perceive in any way. To perceive. Coffee soda. There's a thing I might try.
are you sure you?
It probably shouldn't have W or S or ya or ja. I feel like those are overused.
Okay, and yeah, once we get suggestions, I'll look up protoforms to make sure we don't have it.
Tongi, I say ma for maple syrup in Amsterdam.
Okay. We have a me though, I think, which plays a big role. We also have mate, which ends up being a prefix as a case marker. So,
and then the first person singular is what?
That's a wonderful question.
And so it's first person singular subject, third person object, the. So it's going to be the, low tone.
Okay. And Grindel suggests Ray. Miles says ooh or woo. Cupcake Parade says po.
We had ma as a suggestion.
Yeah, ma, and then micha and po. Ooh. I feel like we have a lot of M's that end up showing up at the beginnings of words with prefixes.
And this is going to be a suffix, remember?
That's true, but it's also going to be a verb.
Yeah.
And so it's going to show up in the middle. Okay. But yeah, I mean...
We have our... yeah, so...
Oh, meet is to eat. So we have meet, and then we also have may to hug.
Okay.
Tungi says, well then, ta for Tungi.
Let's see. Oops. And then, what was the other one? R, right?
R-E. And then, there was also, Jake says nyan or nya.
Nya. Tina, tipo, ta, tipu, sile. Let's try, because that is a proto form, isn't it? We just haven't been using it a lot. Yeah.
We use it. I mean, we use it like in something on this. I just saw it. Oh, it was on one of our negation prefixes. No.
kind of like. Yeah. I see that he said with an N on the end for a low tone, but kind of like it with a high tone. If you're
That would just be tiki.
Tiki. Kind of like Dinya. Dinya.
Alright, let's double check. Nya is not found in the documents.
With high tone.
Whoops. I forgot that I changed my keyboard. I can't. There we go. Not found. So low tone or high tone. Everything else is nyo. Lots of Y's.
Okay.
Those aren't ours. So yeah, I think that's totally open.
Let's entertain this for the time being then. Where would we put this? We need our verbs. Okay, not participles. This is going to be tense aspect modality tense. It's probably going to be its own thing, isn't it?
Can you scroll down just a tiny bit? Oh, that was KYI. Okay, sorry. I was like, I thought as you were scrolling, I thought it said nya at the end. And I was like, wait.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. We're good.
Okay. We can go ahead and get rid of this because that was just an explanation.
Oh, that's the writing system idea that you had?
Yes.
And so.
All right. So then let's start a new. So that's participles. Should it be its own thing, or should it be
really?
tense aspect modality and evidentiality?
I mean, it makes sense to kind of have it all there. Because all the unmarked forms say something about evidentiality.
Tense aspect, evidentiality, and modality, aka team.
Then you have to change aspect and evidentiality. You could have just put evidentiality after modality and had tame.
Nah, team makes more sense.
Okay.
After all, it is what we're going to do next. But, yeah. Didn't stick that landing. It's okay. It's kind of my thing.
To not stick landings?
Yep. Don't yow woo witty woo. Okay, alright.
I'm a little concerned about you.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Even though it doesn't occur in the order suggested
By team.
by team.
I also like that Miles has called me the keeper of the acronyms.
In order to preserve the acronym, we are now going to discuss evidentiality.
All examples previously provided are unmarked for evidentiality and thus indicate that they do not
Yep.
match one of these two very specific conditions.
Yes. What was the issue? Has 3 levels of evidentiality. And so,
Tunky says, we're all concerned about you from time to time. That's true. That's true.
was good. There we go. Let's see. We need another
My
wonderful
word.
bullet for this. Let's see.
I could seriously use an app.
Let's have a fancier bullet. There we go. I think that you actually like this one quite a bit. And so this is,
Oh,
yeah, I thought you'd like that. Unverified information.
what is it called? Is it just a shape? Does it have a name?
It is a shape. think we're
I
both-
approve. I don't know. I approve.
Yeah. Unverified information. The speaker does not wish to assert that they have any claim that does not wish to make any claim as to the verifiability of the information presented. All right.
Good.
All right, then we have personally verified information.
Mm-hmm.
The
I like
speaker,
this.
the speaker claims that they have personal and direct experience or regarding the information they present, meaning they have personal reasons for believing the information they are presenting is true. Okay.
So this is an actual question regarding languages that have these kinds of evidentiality markers.
Mhm.
Anytime you say a sentence like, I don't know, I'm about to leave, or like intentions, but I am the speaker. Do you need to mark it, or is it inherently understood that if you say I'm about to leave, that you don't need to mark it because it's like, well, obviously because it's coming from yourself.
Generally, you don't. Generally, you don't. However, there are plenty of languages that will use the morphology available to make implications about things.
Okay.
So, for example, using, if you're talking about some future act, the ordinary thing would be to not use any marking that indicates that it's verifiable because it hasn't been verified, it's in the future. But
Okay.
you could do it if you were being I'm really doing it this time, or for emphasis.
Okay, so past is true too. Like, let's say I read the book, and because I'm saying I read it, like, obviously I have direct experience, and so
Mhm.
I'm making this claim. And so I could leave it unmarked because it's about me, but I could also mark it to be like a sort of emphatic or to mean something special.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's just the type of thing that would arise through use.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because it would, obviously, if I said they read the book, now I either need to leave it unmarked to be like, oh, I heard they read the book, or I should mark it if I know it
Yes.
because I saw it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. To answer Jake's question, does this include inference? Then no. I mean, generally not. If you're inferring something, then that counts as unverified information. However, even natural languages with evidentiality will often use the direct experience things or evidential markers if they really, really, really believe that something is true and they really want you to know that they believe it's true, even though it's an inference. But generally, no. Generally, no. If it's an inference, unverified. Let's see. Okay, so Tony, there is something about evidential marking, and then person marking. Definitely something with evidential marking and tense or aspect marking. But that's something that I will say provisionally yes, but it's going to require research. Definitely going to require research. Okay. And then finally, information that has been
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been capitalizing everything. Committee verified information is really
yes.
more fitting.
Committee verified information. The speaker claims that the information they are sharing has been verified by a relevant committee or subcommittee.
And actually, so Zakaria has suggested that maybe it could come from a quotative.
It's interesting. Do you know anything about quotatives, Jesse? Jesse Sands, PhD?
A little bit. And I do think that that's interesting because I feel like that this evidential marker would be later in the making. So while the personally verified evidential would be an earlier one, I could see this other one being a little bit more complex in how it was created and applied. Because one, you're not going to use it as often, so it's going to be special. Because when you say it, like, it's going to carry weight.
Yeah.
But two, like, it's not just going to be something that was always around because it, you know, I mean, the Mouse Society would have been speaking and sharing information probably before they instituted all these committees and it became such a big deal. So I feel like that one would have been like one of those, by analogy, we have this other marker, we're going to, you know, specifically create a new one to like fit in, or like people started saying like the committee said so much or whatever quotative it is or whatever phrase, whatever thing it is, so much that it became.
Yeah. Okay, Ray, what about an evidential marker for information that everyone accepts as true even though it has never been officially verified, like say urban legends or fate? Obviously, urban legends would be verified by the Myths, Legends, and Rumors subcommittee. Mm-hmm. So, no, that would still be covered by this one. All right, let me get the...
Ooh, Minnie made it. Hello.
Hey. Let's see. I think right there, is that where it's supposed to... Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me.
What just happened?
Sorry about that. There we go. All right.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a little concern.
Unverified information will not co-occur with any special marking. The other two types of information, on the other hand...
Mateus called it the Snopes Committee. Yeah, and Magpie, that would be a scandal if you went around using that committee verified information marker without it being verified.
Evolved from phrases oft repeated at the end of sentences. These then will have shortened to suffixes that can occur directly.
Or occu. They can occu.
The very end of the verb. Which, again, would cause one to question why the evidentiality section is here. But, well...
Team.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, here we go. And then we have, please review the information below. Sorry. Please review and personally verify information below. Okay, so...
But do they need to personally verify because our committee is verifying it now as we work?
You think this on-the-fly working group counts as a subcommittee?
It definitely does. It's ad hoc. Oh, good night, Tungy.
Oh, good night. I feel like ad hoc is a way that bureaucrats say something is cool.
So Jake is saying that in Quechua and Amara, you never have to use evidentials unless you're responding to questions or making like predicative statements, like the X equals Y type of things.
I mean, you never have to do any of this stuff unless money's on the line.
Oh, nice, Minnie. Shania has different past tenses, differentiated by evidentiality.
Okay.
Oh, Cupcake Burritos one.
There we are. Okay, so now we've gotten this far, we can fill in the relevant information as soon as we have the relevant information. So, Let's go back to nya.
which is going to be sense, and you
Yeah.
wanted to have something that means like I perceived it.
Yes.
Shortened.
Yes.
So do we need is the it going to be considered direct object in this case? Therefore, would it be the...
Hold on a second. We have
Because we have those charts where it's, yeah, here. Those charts that you just passed that were all color-coded.
days. No,
No.
that's just with number.
Uh,
Why these?
because,
This is a key.
okay.
Yeah, so we already got that part. So now we need to write somewhere that this is the verb. Where's a good place for writing? Oops, sorry.
Don't ask such questions. I'm gonna put it here, and then I'm gonna move part of this list up. So NYA is our...
Is that how we're doing those protoforms, or are we doing them in IPA?
we were doing them in IPA. Yeah. Just a second. I don't... Option carry on? No. I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to switch to this one. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so let's work on some evolution here. Let's say that we have some verb mana and some verb man. All right. Actually, before I do that, let's do this. Does voicery happen? Voicery does not happen. Okay, we don't have to worry about voicery. Good. Okay.
I swear we had some more. Here we go. Okay. We were supposed to keep things in one list.
We were?
Mm-hmm. And so some of these are double entered,
Okay.
but at least we have them all.
Okay. Let's ultimately what is going to be yeah. Equals. So when you're ready,
What are we doing?
we're going to talk about how these things are going to get suffixized.
That one came from to breathe. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to pull these up. Okay, I think I have all our verbs in one list now. Until we find out that we tricked ourselves and added them a few other places. But
Oh, that's right. Minnie is new. Minnie doesn't know. Minnie, I am enjoying some premium crafted Canadian maple syrup soda from my root beer advent calendar.
we should actually...
In this case, root beer adjacent. Yes?
I have a picture of the calendar before you started it. I should put it on Discord so people can see how epic it is.
Oh yeah, but I've been taking a picture of it after a bottle has been taken out. So I have it at every stage.
Well, that's good, but I was just saying I
Yeah.
can go post one on Discord so people can see what a root beer advent calendar looks like.
Now these will be suffocating.
Okay, so we are back here. I just, you know what? I'm gonna go to where you are. There we go. Perfect. Now I don't have to scroll. Go on. I'm ready.
It's been amazing, Cupcake. Great. So I put up these two verbs here. And Oh, I'm David. This one's Jesse. Oh no, wait. On the left, from your perspective, Jesse's on the left. Hey there, partner. Mm. Delish. Okay. So this is what I want to try to suggest. Oh, that's a good photo.
It's going in Discord.
Nice.
Go on.
This is what I want to try to suggest. So this one, I guess, will in the modern form would end up being pronounced ma, and this one would be mana. But whatever happens in the verb complex, okay, this phrase nya is going to be added at the end as an afterthought, and so and it's going to go low high. I wanted to try to argue that maybe the would get elided completely away in some instances. And I have a vowel final root and a consonant final root to see if maybe we want to do something different or not. But it's like manatnya, 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 manatnya. Mananya. What do you think? Mananya. Manya. 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 Manya.
I feel like it's always
Manya.
because these.
Okay. Go ahead.
These have to come kind of a bit later, right, than other, and so like I feel like there wouldn't be any codas left.
Yeah.
And so like it wouldn't go back to the protoforms at this stage, which means we really just need one strategy.
Yeah, you're right. That's actually the question I was going to ask. It was if the codas would have disappeared by this stage. But no, absolutely you're right. So it means that there's going to be no codas anywhere. This is always going to be added to vowel final verbs. So let's just delete this one. Manatnya, manatnya. What do you think about my idea about essentially having mananya? Mananya.
So keeping, if I'm hearing it correctly, you're keeping the vowel in before the nya?
And it's changing to just an E and a low tone. Mananya. Mananya. Or do we have circumflex tones in this language?
No. We have high, we have low. I don't think so. No. I think that's...
Can anybody verify that?
You can. But also, like, I don't think we use the low tone marker other than like when we were writing it out in early stages.
What language am I thinking of where we have high, low, and falling?
Well, there's one we cannot talk about on...
That was the one.
Yeah.
Jesse and I are working on the movie.
And there will be contour tones, yes.
Yeah, on that one.
Okay.
But that one didn't have rising. Right. So this one we just didn't have contour tones at all.
It was high-low.
And so what happens when you end up with a contour tone?
You don't.
No, but like it resolves into something else.
I don't know that we've had to resolve it yet. Because so far, we haven't been smashing things together until, like, things got smashed together before the codas were lost, therefore there's no tone as things got smashed together. This is the first thing we're smashing together with tone. And so this, I think, will be the day we have to decide.
'Cause that'll be the day we decide. Hmm?
Mhm.
Huh?
Exactly. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked as I was trying to post on Discord.
Yeah.
Because
Okay, so here's the two possibilities we have. Mana tinya. Mana tinya. Are they going to be different?
in one moment, I'm really going to pay attention. And so what, can we have a middle stage here where you were suggesting that perhaps we drop the th and reduce the e to an e? And so then the question becomes, it's a low tone e. What if it assimilates in tone? Or dissimilates? So that way it doesn't get lost.
The thing is, the reason that it's doing that is because it's supposed to get lost. The th is supposed to get lost. It's supposed to be kind of an afterthought, something you just throw on. Manatinya, mananya, 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 mananya.
And we double checking, but I know the answer if I really ask in my heart of hearts what vowels we have to choose from. I know, yeah. Yeah, I mean, would we put a hyphen there to differentiate so it's like, hey, not a diphthong?
I don't know. So do we not have any diphthongs in this language?
I don't think we do.
I'm going to go down to the sound changes here. We no longer have diphthongs.
I think the closest thing we have is the glides, like the yawa situation.
Yeah. Otherwise, the diphthongs. Well, that's, I guess, what we're trying to decide, Cupcake, right? If we're going to go that route, or if this is going to become something else.
Well, okay, but also one reason I would say no potentially on the diphthongs is because then we have to decide what happens with mano inya, mane inya. Like any vowel could be at the end of. This is just like a placeholder.
This was step one.
And so if we decide, well, oh, hey, we'll have manainya or whatever, we then have to decide, are we going to have manoinya? Are we going to have manainya?
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to do this all the way out?
Yeah, so that's that was step number 2. Ideally, it would be nice to figure out, do we want to explore diphthongs or not? And then what are we going to do with tone? Then we can move on to other vowels.
My thought is no on diphthongs.
Okay.
And that there will still be, it's essentially just going to be almost like a little break. Whatever the verb is, and then the nya is going to be almost like you don't hear the e very much. It's almost like it's lost. But it's still there because it's like a nya. Like you can still, it's there. It's because it's creating a new syllable, but it's not like.
I think it's the tone, the distinction that makes you want to keep it, which is difficult because then it seems like the most obvious thing to do would be this. But we don't want to do that. Anenya. do?
Just stare at you. No.
So, if you don't like this, which Jesse doesn't like, and also we voted for no contours, then that leaves us with a couple of possibilities, all right? Option one would be the yeah becomes yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very simple.
I do like Dark Horse's comment, how it was written. Maybe glottal stops.
So simplification. Yeah. Option two would be
You know, if I hadn't put on my sweatshirt, we would be almost matching because I have a green t-shirt on.
that's cool. You know what? We had some rule where it said like if there was going to be a contour tone, it would show up as. I know that we did. I know that we did.
Except I know that there's a rule in that other language about certain contour tones not being able to show out. Because I just...
Maybe right.
I mean, this is good to have anyway because we don't... I just don't think that we've had very many situations where we've had vowel side by side in the modern form.
Yeah.
And so I guess it'll be, because everything we've done is, if it has this vowel, it's going to do this.
Okay, so then we have how to do this simply. Man, yeah, but no, yeah. It's our epenthetic.
Okay.
That's low tone preservation. So there's always going to be a low tone. And then the other option is hiatus. So there we go. If you eliminate all the other options, these are our three options.
No, we don't have any rule
Yeah.
for a legal contour tone because it literally just says two tone levels, high, low, high marked, low tone, unmarked. So, yeah, just to verify that as we're working on this. And by hiatus, that would just be exactly what we have typed up above.
Yep.
And so it would just be inya, regardless of what comes before it.
That's right. Do you want to send all these to a vote, or do you want to
Can we
eliminate?
get a fourth option though? With low tone preservation, option B, where it's hiatus, but you only get the E if it comes after a high tone.
Okay.
So we're not adding an L.
Okay, low certain preservation. This is
1.0?
epenthesis.
Oh.
And then low tone preservation.
Hiatus.
Hiatus. Can you put those two to vote? Those
Okay,
two
so-
to vote.
Okay, so in this poll, you're only voting on which one you prefer if we preserve the low tone. So assume that right now we're preserving the low tone,
Yeah, then we're gonna.
and then we're gonna put it to vote to see if we actually are, but
Yeah.
we just need to get rid of. Okay, there we go. Let me get to the right app here. There we go. Low tone, which is your favorite option? Epenthesis, which means you want the L insertion,
Yeah.
and hiatus is the other option.
Yeah.
No L. No consonant inserted. There we go. All right, so assuming we preserve the low tone, which is your favorite option? Epenthesis, which means L insertion, or hiatus, which means no consonant, like the mananya versus manalinya.
Yeah.
And it should. There we go. I was like, it should go live soon. Haha, you remembered. Oh yeah, maybe we did do in a podcast. We also did a tone system, just as like because someone had asked about tone, and so we like made a little partial language sketch to mess around with it in a podcast. So that could also. Oh my goodness. We've actually got quite a few votes for that. So keep voting, everyone. We need a tiebreaker. Keep voting. Oh my gosh. We're almost up to the number of viewers. Do you have a favorite?
I'm afraid to say it at this point.
But do you? Just yes or no?
Yeah,
Out of these two.
I'm starting to lean towards one over the other.
Okay. Nice, Mateus. If I suddenly see 12 votes, eyes on you.
Yeah. We got two more.
Yeah, we now have. We're only 3 down, and some of them may not be able to vote right now or whatever. So that happens. Oh goodness! If we have to break the tie.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Mini Scott's entered the Sacco entered the chat. There we go. That's nice.
That actually would be fun to do once if instead of us, we had sock puppet versions of us.
Yeah. It's back to 50-50.
Hey there, Jesse.
Hey.
How about those
Hey.
poll results?
Dude,
Sock it to me.
tell me what your vote would be if you had to choose. Let's be like football players, coaches, and like hold up some paper or something, and, so they can't see. Which one would you choose? Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 25 votes.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. End the poll. End the poll.
Woo!
Oh, that would really be the end of LTS Smiles.
Okay, so
There we go.
I'm gonna do this again. We got exactly 25 votes to match our viewers, so we got this. Barely winning hiatus.
Oh no, the claymation was good. The puppet episode is bad. But yeah, incidentally, I don't know if you know this, and I certainly don't know if they know this, but you know the huddle in American football where players get together to discuss the next play? That was invented by Gallaudet University, Deaf University.
Oh, so that way they could sign to each other without people
Yeah,
behind them seeing what they were signing?
Originally, there were no huddles in football before that.
Oh.
But they would sign to each other, and then other teams that played them would pick up on the signs, so they would get closer so that they could just sign. Like
Nice.
that. And then all teams started doing it. Pretty wild.
Like it. Okay, so we're going to get rid of epenthesis. It's
Yeah.
gone.
And,
It's no longer an option.
and by the way, this was my favorite option of the two.
Epenthesis?
No.
Hiatus.
Hiatus. So
Good, because that was my favorite option too, and
Good.
I was a little bit concerned for a second.
yeah. All right. Here we go. Big
Okay,
poll.
so now this is the poll between these three options. And so what it would come down to is that all verbs would just get nya as a suffix, so it would be mananya, mananya, doesn't matter.
Yep.
That's option one. Option two, you see there are two there, low tone is preserved, and so the E only shows up if a high tone comes before it, otherwise it's just nya.
Mhm.
So that one's, I guess, the most complicated of the three, because you do have to take previous tone into consideration. And then hiatus is our third option, where again, all verbs, no matter what, are going to get inya. And so you're going to get manyaña, manyaña. And so you're going to end up getting that there.
And
So those are our three options.
let's, as you type that up, let's go ahead and show the ramifications of this.
Simplification.
So this would be a little bit like, I don't know if you know, in Spanish, how you can get two of the same verb next to each other and they're not long verbs, long vowels. Like in creer, which means to believe, you would be able to get that maniña, maniña, maniña. It's not a long vowel. It's two instances of the same vowel next to each other. And it also means that you could get as well maniña. Interesting.
Okay, so I tried to kind of summarize that. We've got our three options. You can see them on the screen. I tried to make sure every option in the poll had the little example, the suffix with it, so that way you can better make sure you match up. So it's either always nya, always inya, or a little bit of both.
It didn't have to do the thing this time. Okay.
Huh.
Anyway, but yeah, as you were typing that up, do you see these new examples that I showed?
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
That was very interesting. Oh my goodness, my eye itches. Okay, so we're up to 75% or so of our voters.
That third example, Magpie, is apparently what's going to happen. Maniña.
I mean, it's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
It got rad. Okay. Oh, I should be keeping track. Oh, we have the number of votes and number of viewers are the same,
Wow.
but that came a lot closer than I thought it was going to. So we're gonna end the poll because again, votes and viewers match. But holy cow, that was much closer than I thought it was gonna be based on early, right off the bat votes.
Yeah. There we go. And there it is. So, low tone preservation has won the day. So that means everybody loves Maninha. Okay. Look at that. All right. So you'll never see something like that. That's not going to happen. And you'll never see something like that. That's not going to happen. But these two bad boys, oh, they're going to happen, all right. Wow. Fascinating.
So, we just figured out a strategy. It's
We
time to
did.
celebrate.
It absolutely is.
Cupcake Chris says not everyone loves it, David. Not everyone.
That is the way the cheese crumbles.
That's the way the Copico melts.
Yeah.
Ah, did you see what I did there?
Right on. Cheers, partner. Oh, it's been a good long while since we had one of these.
It really has been. Haven't had one since. Well, we had one when we recorded the episode. Okay, so it's only been a week.
Copico, there for your highs and your lows.
Okay, that was your best one yet. Okay.
All right. Okay, let's write this up. So, suffix is going to be yeah. And then let's have two examples here. Let's go ahead and do high, low. I mean, this might have been a table, but like, Okay, we need a verb that ends in a high tone and a verb that ends in a low tone.
Just a second. I swear we have. Did I just go by it? Do I keep missing it?
By the way, if you're not on Twitter, you missed Pete Bleakley's tweet. Said, what is an opossum that's bent on domination? Genghis Khan.
Ooh, okay. V is sleep, low tone.
Okay. Let's...
And high tone, we have ni to come. We have ji to slide. Or we have chisu to give.
1 sec. So you said the for low tone?
That's to sleep.
Okay. Oh dear. Where's it getting that? Where's it getting that? No. Okay, high tone. Let's go ahead and
We have to dodge is mate. We have ni to come.
let's do G.
And ji to slide. Got to change the DDD.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Genia.
More than anything, it's to get that sort of little break in there. It's getting warm in here. I think I'm gonna take off my sweatshirt.
Whoa!
It's colder downstairs than it is upstairs, and so like I started downstairs, and so I needed the sweatshirt. But then upstairs, it's like totally don't need the
It's
sweatshirt.
getting warm in here, so take your sweatshirt off.
No. Just no.
All right. Team green.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we can get to committee verification. So,
Okay.
what are some types of, because this is where we need to do a little bit of world building to decide, kind of once and for all, what is committee verification going to look like? And then how are we going to say it so that we can get a phrase and turn that into a suffix?
We have a word for committee, mind you, right?
I don't think we ever actually had a word for committee, did we? Yeah, we don't.
What did we come up with? The name of the language
Yeah.
is committee speak.
Did we not
The
write it
speech of the
down?
committee? Because it was like the seed givers or seed stackers.
So we didn't have a word for speech. We had a word for committee. Olive.
Mm-hmm.
So Wokuthi?
It means for the committee,
Wokuthi is committee then?
isn't it? Like, I'm not misremembering this, right? Where did we put that note? Wait, that was what they were voting on. I'm just gonna go back to our Patreon.
I know we're an anime fan. We just sat here the whole time. Nobody was drinking any maple syrup or nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, this is our word for committee is our language name out,
Is
but
group.
but taking away the allative.
And so Wokuthi? What was the suffix? Was it mean group or something?
Well, it's the stat group, and so this whole thing means committee.
But what was the protoform? It wasn't that. It was this. TSIK. Jason L came up with it. Okay. So we should write that down somewhere.
Yeah, we should.
Might as well write it here. Collective. See? Okay. But then I don't know what we put here. We need to actually, do we want to go through this trouble right now? Come up with 4 nouns and...
Maybe not right now, but I am putting committee on our list of nouns,
Okay.
and I'm adding in the protoforms.
Okay.
Stack, and then this is going to end up being group. Okay. Goodness, every time we say we're not going to let this happen.
Okay. So we're gonna get rid of this.
Okay, so group though is, yeah, TSIK becoming P in the high tone.
All right. We need to go back to our agreement because I don't remember if we include the subject when the subject is stated or not. We had a whole discussion about that and we came to a decision and then I forgot what we decided.
Say it again.
This is what we decided. It was optional.
Close and seek.
Full by personal agreement was optional.
Yes.
Okay. Do we only have object agreement? I don't think we do we? We don't. So the only way to get object agreement in there is if you also have subject, which would be wo or ri, depending on, no, wo or ri, depending on if it's near or far, but it's probably going to be wo or far. So let's go back to wokuthi. Fine, wokuthi.
Oh, and I think I said this in my head and not out loud, but yeah, anime fan, I hope everything's okay with the emergency.
So the committee did what to it? Imagine what you are saying to somebody is, I get to paint, I'm painting my house blue. No, even better. No, something clearer than that. The sun will rise tomorrow. The committee said so?
Oh, thank you, Minnie. Woo! Thank goodness I have you.
Quoting the committee. So let's write down. Let's brainstorm. So it's basically something starting with a dot dot dot. Committee. Committee. Set it. What else? What are some other ideas?
As per the committee. But is there a case that would be something like as per the committee that we could apply here?
Let's investigate that. So we'll put an asterisk that, or we'll just explore cases that might serve this.
Beatrice committee approved, so something like the committee approved it with some sort of.
Let's see.
And then Miles says by committee degree. And Minnie is the winner. Quote the committee. Because in case you don't know, my handle is quote-a-linguist on like literally every.
From the committee, that's really easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Saith the committee. Nice, Grindel. Mateus. Just to play devil's advocate. I like it. So one of the reasons, though, I specifically wanted to explore cases was that wokuhi is already a big word. And if we add a verb to it, we are getting really lengthy. Oh, I did dye my hair, Minnie. All right, let me take that back. I didn't. My hair was dyed by a fabulous stylist in Nacogdoches, Texas. She's my favorite stylist, so much so that I didn't get my hair done until I went back to Texas. Other than that, my other thing would be like if there is a special committee pronoun that came to be used, where it's like a formal almost, that could be added to a verb. Again, just ways to shorten it, because wokuhi is just so
it's gonna
big.
It's gonna undergo extra shortening, just like Piña did. So I don't know if people can see that what happened was that your hair has yellow and pink stripes.
Oh yeah,
it comes across as one color.
It doesn't. Yeah, so many I have. It's like layers of bright yellow and hot pink, and so you can kind of see streaks of it throughout. And so yeah, I don't know if that totally comes across. Oh, Jake says maybe like in committee.
Let's see, but also something like they said it.
Ooh, Mateus. It's always fun to get a haircut. Oh, and Beatrice had said like anything meaning like of, by, or from. And thank you, Minnie.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
let's keep these in mind. Let's jump to the cases and see what we've got because we don't necessarily remember.
We have 8.
It's a good number. So not natural or unnatural. Or unnatural. We have ablative, ablative, instrumental, locative.
Well, ablative is one option because it's from the committee, right?
Yeah.
Source.
That's easy. Slide.
Um.
Oh no, wait. Ni. So, Wokatini.
I would say to instrumental or locative, meaning something like by way of committee.
Yeah, I would think so too. Instrumental or locative. Okay, I'll take either. So we have pa ku. So Wokutini, Wokutipa, Wokutiku. Let's write these down.
Oh, I'll
Oh, do you want to do it?
Well, no, you can write it. I'll stay up on the chart so that way I can give you endings that you want.
So let's try and see. So we have Woku. And then Woku. Tipa.
Yeah,
Woku. Tiku.
low tone, good.
Super essive. I don't think.
No, because that comes from sleep.
Yeah.
And definitely not avertive. Committee dodged. Yeah. That would have been nice, Miles.
So, Woku Wo. Do we have something to say yet?
No.
No, we don't.
And so that would have to be. Do you want to? Okay, how about this? Before we go crazy worrying about forms or anything, should we narrow it down to say 2 or 3 options and have them vote and then worry about forms? Or should we go ahead and get a form for say, because that's something that we may want anyway?
No, I think what we should do is come up with 4 forms, and because
and then vote.
This is the form verb, and then we'll decide what it means.
So just create a verb that we like the sound of.
Yeah.
And then from there, we could decide what verb it means from all those lists.
Yeah.
Okay. Pa high tone, because then it's wah. But I don't know if we have a verb that already does that. Ooh, it could be
It doesn't
adjective P. It could be adjective P. That I don't think we have.
Okay. All right.
Oh my god.
Because here is the next thing. Obviously, all these are too big. These are going to get shortened to like 1 or 2 syllables.
Yeah.
So, now, the question is, how are they going to get shortened? Manopdini, manopdini, manopdini. Manopdini, manopdini. You know what that sounds like to me? Or, come on, you. Basically, Low tone preservation, same thing.
Again.
Yep. Mano katipa, mano katipa, mano katipa, mano katipa.
And wouldn't it just be the same strategy, both all 3 times, just with ba and go instead?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Let's see if this one's too thick. Manotico, 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 manotico. Oh, I don't like this one.
Mm-mm.
Oh boy.
We don't have to use that form. I was just laughing because it was like a Chandler reference from Friends.
Was it good? The woe is optional.
Loses the ejective and just becomes Thipa.
I don't like it.
I mean, would you like it better if it had a different ending? Because again, I only did the Whoopah as a joke based on Friends that you don't need to do. Thank you, Minnie. Thank you. That was the whole reason I suggested it, because it made me laugh, and that doesn't mean it works well here. And in fact, we could have it mean, you know, a whip or something. Because so he's trying to make the whipped sound. And he's like, whoopah! Yeah, okay, anyway. Have we not gotten there in our rewatch?
I don't think so. I'll just do this.
In these, this was ablative for the knee and ba was the instrumental.
Yes.
And so it's essentially like from the committee or because or like through or with the via instrumental. And many, I feel like that's a good way to be.
No, these are CBCB. This is the longer one. That's all right. You take your time. Okay. I think that these should be presented
To vote? Okay.
to vote.
Okay. Poll. Which form should represent the committee evidential? I'm going to call it that for short. And we have ooh. And then it's high tone, right?
Yep.
Whoops. I can't see. Or, again, ooh, preserve low tone. Ah. There we go. Well, hey, Sayray. Sayray. Ooh, Dark Horse. Thought they heard you say mousy as mouthy.
Did I say mousy?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't think so.
Oh, Beatrice, I just saw your comment after having released the poll. I apologize.
Okay, Athene is ablative, Thipa is instrumental.
Do you want to write that right here on the screen so you can see it? So sorry, Beatrice. That was a wonderful idea. If I had read your comment before I released it, I'm so sorry. And we are working on the mouse language, which is called Wopukiji, is the name of the language. And so, voting on forms here. Bless you. I gotta see what. Oh my gosh, we almost have full votes, and look at this again.
50-50.
Again.
Really appropriate.
Okay, this is. Seems we have good options, is what I'm hearing. Like, there's not an obvious.
Back to 50-50.
If everyone votes, it's an odd number, so. Yeah. Miles. Another Yinzer. I love it. Oh, 23 votes. All right, I'm calling it because we are. Oh, 24 votes. I don't know how we got 24, but it just solidified the winner.
I'm telling you, the concurrent viewers lies. All right, so we're doing from the committee, the oblative. That is good, and so let's formalize this.
Boy, you are just struggling with that.
I've got it. I know what I'm doing. Look at that. It's you, thingy. And be thingy. Oh my goodness.
Fini?
Be thingy. I like it.
You, Fini?
I like it a lot.
And yes, it's going to come out a bit contoury, but the romanization isn't affected.
All right. Evidentials are done.
I almost it's like, let's celebrate. Oh wait, we already had Coca-Cola. Okay, so now we need to decide what we're doing for a poll because we are like getting
Yeah.
close to our last 20 minutes,
Yeah,
and
we are.
I had no idea where to go after this. This was a huge decision.
Okay.
Okay. Oh wait. So one thing, at some point,
Yeah.
this doesn't need to be this week, but formalizing the ideas you have for the writing system for votes.
Yeah.
That is always going to be like a background. We can do it, but also you should really think through your schedule because that affects you most.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of time to formalize something with that many options and so many things writing on it. So that's always a background thing. Another thing that we haven't, we kind of have a participle now. At some point we can formalize one of them because the stacking committee was the low prefix we used.
They stack it.
Yeah. And so, because it's they stack it group essentially, the stacking group.
Do we have anything for passives?
I don't think so. And so we can talk about ideas for polls that could be related to passives. We don't really have very many. We definitely don't have any manner adverbs, and so we can do something adverby. We still need to figure out coordination, and another big one, like comparisons, the comparative. I don't think we have anything for that.
No, we don't have to worry about comparison just yet. We're not even close to being done with our verbs. Not even close.
Oh, I was just throwing out things that we still have left blank in this document that we may. And Dark Horse, we don't want to do any sort of naming strategies until we have more figured out with the language. That is always something we can do in Patreon special live streams, which is what we have been doing to get a better sense for how we want to do more cultural things. I love it, Minnie. Valency changing operations.
Yeah.
Woo. Oh, we can take away that no evidential idea because we totally just did that.
Yes.
Did you want to try to go passive? Is that where you want to go next?
That is essentially valency changing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
dark horse is a good point. That won't be the poll, it's always an extra poll, but yeah, we've gotten to a point where we can do our names in the language. So we should do that as well. Valency changing operations. So there's passivization. We've already done applicativization.
yes.
Okay. Positives.
And when you say, are you right now just thinking through, do we want some sort of formal positive
Yeah.
on the verb rather than having like a syntactic construction?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. If we
Clausal
wanted,
construction,
a
maybe.
true causative, we wanted a true passive.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need them. I mean, well, of course we don't need them. Question is.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe. I mean, this seems kind of basic, but even just asking, like Zachary, and you had just mentioned we don't need a true passive. Giving patrons options for how to work with passive like meanings, a true passive, or like here are some other options that we could do, and have them vote which strategy they like best.
Talk through that a little bit. I'm gonna hop over here.
And by talk through that, you just mean I'm gonna chit chat,
Yeah.
and the topic I chit chatted about could be passivized, and you need to bring David back.
Thank you. Do we have?
But we don't have a way to just mark objects. The subject
Do we have stated verbs?
stated, yeah.
Like if we wanted to say that is red, this is blue.
Well, so far we don't have any freestanding adjectives. All of our adjectives, I believe, so far are prefixes that go on nouns, that come from another noun.
Yeah. So like, what do we want to do if we want to say something is red? I mean, this is where we should need to go next.
Yeah, again, as far as I can see, we actually don't have any true freestanding adjectives. We do have a copular, I believe. Yes, because I remember we have vu, because you breathe. Like if you say, I am a teacher, you breathe as a teacher, is
Yes.
essentially. Okay, so we do have that kind of thing. So, yeah, deciding what we want to do. If it's not a noun. That is an interesting question.
This is there are lots of things. That we have options to do here. Like here we have. So I'm looking at the Umarmu dictionary here. There's a suffix you added. It means to do something in a hurry or a rush. There's a suffix you added. It means to think somebody else is doing it. So he is sleeping. Hining nahugiga, she thinks he is asleep, or she thinks he is sleeping. So that's to be busy with. He's busy with stuff.
Logan says Fongbe only has 19 true adjectives and only one of them is a color term.
Yeah.
That's cool. Right now we don't have too many abstract nouns, Akari. Most of what we have so far are things around them.
This is pretty cool. So the evidentials that we just did, they also have evidential-like things in this language. And most of the time you're adding a suffix, then there's person information added. This is added directly to the end of words, just like what we just did.
Nice.
And that is reported information, hearsay. They did hearsay.
Love it.
To be just about to, we did that. To hurt one's ex. Wow. So you start with leg, you add a suffix, it means he hurt or broke his leg. We got lots of things like that. But maybe what we should do is manner.
Okay.
The way in which something is done. And I think it should be an open poll. And everybody just tosses out manners that they might enjoy.
For mice to do things.
Yes. And then we will just, everybody vote on which ones they like, and we'll take some arbitrary cutoff and say, let's do all of these things.
Okay.
And we can set about doing that next time.
Okay.
All right.
So patrons, what this means is that you're going to need to think about mice and how they do things. So you can think about how they dodge, slide, scurry, sleep.
Mm-hmm.
These are all verbs we have. Sit. And think about, like in English, a lot of these are going to end up either being ly adverbs or preposition phrases. So like in a rush, or quickly, or joyfully, or things like that. Those are the kinds of suggestions we're going to need in any poll responses.
And I'll give you plenty of examples to kind of like get you going. Hold on a sec. I want to see what Minnie's doing.
Well,
I can't wait for this.
I think the pun is right there in what has already been said. In a manner of speaking.
Ha 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 ha.
We're doing a poll on manner.
Nice.
So yeah, I think that would be cool, and it would be placed somewhere either after the verb or as a suffix, depending on how we want to do it. Because we already, I believe that's why our tense markers were at the end, was because it came from like today.
That's right.
Tomorrow,
Adverbs. Yeah, and so
adverb placement has already been decided.
let's go ahead and go to that, and let's see. So we have scurry. Then we have these. Mm-hmm. Is this just like? What is all this stuff?
Imperfect is
All right,
unmarked.
this is just regular.
Yeah, so
right?
this is just.
And this is.
Those are also just regular.
That's woon, berry.
Oh yeah. So that's like.
And this one is about to, so day. And then,
But notice it's placed at the end.
yeah. All right, so then let's decide this now.
Oh, a Finnegan's Wake kind of joke.
There's no apostrophe in Finnegan's Wake. All right, so.
You know what's really funny?
Huh.
When you said that, my first question was going to be, oh, does he not use contractions? There's no apostrophe in the work, Finnegan's Wake. But you meant in the title.
Yeah.
And that it should be Finnegan's with no apostrophe. But like, I was like, oh, was he anti-apostrophe? Like, did he use contractions or just like smash them together so you had to figure
Honestly,
out if it's we're or were?
He may have been.
So anyway, that was just really funny because I misunderstood that.
So here's the question that we need to decide. Are these manner things, are they going to come before or after these tense adverbs?
I think the
Yeah.
real, because we added something else. We added ni at the end. And what does ni come from? I don't remember. Good Lord, this is why we need all the protoforms. All of them.
Yeah, I know. I think I got rid of Finnegan's Wake because I decided I was never going to read it, which is probably true.
Okay, because we have like the vo, we've got the vo at the end, except no becomes plural, so that's the reduplication. Negation comes after.
Yeah, negation comes after, which is
And so then the
interesting.
question becomes, are all adverbs going to be placed in that same spot?
Well, yeah, so is it going to come before or after negation? And then is it going to come before or after these things?
these reduplicated forms.
Okay, so let's actually type this out. So scurry on morning, right? Where can I type? I suppose it doesn't matter. Okay, so I scurry today, not. And so, however we do it, because we don't know how we're going to do it, but are we going to say, I scurry quickly, not, or just go nuts, absolutely insane, and do it after that?
Okay, so the other issue though was the reduplicated form, because
Huh. What's getting reduplicated?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. But these plurals, something's getting reduplicated. Ooh. And so we're going to have to figure that out. It's much more obvious here. Thumuma. So the umu, it's that's getting reduplicated in that one.
That makes sense.
Because it's sum.
Yeah. But then,
So the verb is reduplicated before the adverb is added.
but that's not what the other one suggests. Where, what's happening here?
Because it's M and W coming together, because that's from buried.
Yeah, but hold on a sec.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, soon. So what was the form? Bury was wound. Yeah.
Was that a mistake or did we intend that?
I don't know. We're going to have to tear these all apart. Do you remember how we had all the proto forms typed out? And you were like, we don't need these.
That doesn't
We can
sound
go
like
back and 2 weeks ago watch the live stream and watch as you delete all the proto forms.
That doesn't sound like me.
And we can see what the proto forms were. Because it's...
It's like these, the first and third makes sense.
I think it's buried that's getting reduplicated.
Because it's a verb.
So it's buried. But negation is not a verb, and so it's not getting reduplicated.
Yeah. And day isn't, hey Cam. Day isn't a verb either.
Right.
And we were working with bury and day. And morning, how does morning come into play? Is it anywhere? Imperfect.
Oh, morning is where we get the day before or day after.
Oh, kya.
Yeah. That's
Alright.
that was your idea of having like dawn be both
Yeah.
tomorrow and yesterday.
Yes. Right. Okay. Okay. Alright, so then these are going to be separate then in where they stack. If this is the case.
The negation always comes before the adverb in these examples because it's like I kya. And kya is the adverb, I is the negation.
You're right. Oh my goodness, you're right. Look at that. Because ifa, right? Because
Yeah.
is day.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we have an order.
We do.
So
It's,
I scurry not today is the order.
yeah, that's right. Okay, let's do these the way that they're actually. All right, scurry today. I scurry not today.
And so I would argue that the today being part of the tense would be that any manners, if we attach them directly to the verb, have to follow the today slash, you know, the morning. Yeah. Like it just has to be.
So I could still see this.
I'm sure you could.
Because the manner has more to do with the verb.
Then when it happened? Then when it happened?
Yeah.
But then where's Barry gonna be? I scurry quickly, Barry. I scurry very quickly. Very quickly.
Like that.
Okay, I had to make sure you heard. You have an
Yeah.
extra parenthesis.
I sure do.
I'm really not a fan of that. I really want the final placement. Because manner is like an afterthought. Like you don't, it's just like,
We got 1 minute.
and this happened in a rush.
We got 1 minute. Manner important to the verb or not?
Do you want to poll? Is that what we're doing?
Just thinking about it.
Okay. Where should manner be placed as a suffix? It's going to be a suffix,
Yes.
no matter what.
So, in between verb and negation.
Okay. Verb, manner, negation. Or
Verb,
verb,
negation,
manner.
Yes.
Because can you the last two examples go together. There we go. So like we're essentially voting between 1 and 2. The top two don't have manner. So those are just what we do. So if you want to color code those or number them, 1 and 2. I scurryberry. Okay, there we go. So now there's 2 examples. And I will go ahead and add a 1 and a 2 in here to match. Because verb negation, oh wait, verb negation manner is 1. Okay, sorry, we're doing a little late. Sorry. I'm coming. I'm making sure they match what's actually in the document. Verb manner negation
Yeah.
is option 2. Okay.
All right.
Woo! Okay, it'll pop up eventually. And this is the last thing we're doing today, so get your votes in.
Yep.
Whoever's left, sorry, I know people have kind of dropped off because you need to, because it's, technically after the stream. This is kind of a last minute vote. So get your votes in, and then we'll call it a day. Call it a week, really.
Yeah.
Oh, do we want to, as we're waiting for votes to come in?
Hmm.
We can't.
No.
No, we are not doing a patron live stream this month.
Yeah.
Because we have no Saturdays.
Right.
Literally.
No. That's a bummer.
Okay. I just realized that.
Yeah, I realized it before we left because it was like that Saturday, like we had to do it then or we weren't going to be able to.
But then that Saturday whooshed by.
Yeah.
Okay, so
If there's one voter that wants to try to tie this, you may.
So yeah, we're 1 vote short. But I'm gonna have to end it here in a second. Oh, Cam, unfortunately something keeps happening with YouTube, and
Yeah.
best as we can figure, it's every time we travel. And something like YouTube changes the time or something. And so yeah. Oh, it is tied. Okay.
It sure is.
Okay. Should we end it there and just announce next time? Oh wait, it's no longer tied, but we now have 2 more votes than viewers.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
Should I now end it?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, okay. The 20th just came in to tie it again.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so we're gonna chit chat and end as there were, thanks to 2 California language creators, there are to be no more Saturdays. Indeed.
This is what I want to suggest here.
Uh-huh.
The reason that you put it with the verb is then you negate the whole thing. Right? So let's talk about, let's say eating quickly. So you say I ate quickly, I didn't eat quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you flip it around, it's I very hurriedly didn't eat. So you just sat there not eating, but you did it quickly. If you put it outside the negation.
You can't logic language, I'm sorry.
This is the mouse language.
Anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna end the poll. We have a tie. David and I are going to figure this out, I guess.
We could flip a coin.
We could, but
Would you want to do that?
Oh,
Would
I
you
don't
want
know.
to do that?
It is 5 minutes past. We need to.
Do you want to flip a coin? The ultimate.
Can you blue arrow it? I always hit the mouse wrong and
Yep.
kill the whole thing.
Yep.
And Chariot makes a point. Both, but in different contexts. I ate, but not quickly. Versus, I.
That raises the possibility of multiple negation, which we haven't done.
Okay.
Let's just see what the coin would say.
Okay. Oh, flip a Copico. I like that.
All right. The Statue of Liberty is going to mean verb negation manner. All right.
Verb negation manner. Statue of Liberty. Oh, that was a.
What does it say?
Honey, I can't see that. So it's verb manner negation. Okay. All right. There we go. Verb manner negation it is. Take away the option that we're not getting so we don't confuse ourselves when we start next time.
All right.
Yeah, Miles, that would have been our luck. Anyway, all right, so everyone, stay grammar. We will be back next week on the 23rd. We are back to a normal schedule, at least for a while.
Yep.
And we will, we'll be excited to see you all then. And yeah, stay grammar. Okay. Do you want to say bye?
Bye. Sorry. Bye. That was my bye.